This painting actually started long before I began putting paint onto the canvas. This one did start with a definite concept that I wanted to show because the cairn is it's a prehistoric rock formation that is fascinating. Humans have been doing this for thousands of years. Thousands of people have been creating these stone markers, stone upon stone, all over the world. And then it snows and they get washed away with the snow, and then the next spring people start building them up again. In some cultures, there's a reversal of how we visualize time, and they see the past as being in front of us while the future lies behind. And that's because you can always visualize the past. Your memories, your experiences can be seen, so therefore they're ahead of you, visualized, while the future, which is unknown and unseeable, must lie behind you. And I was thinking about that concept, which really interests me, and how to put that into a visual language. So in doing this painting, I started with a lot of sketches, a lot of observations, trying to get the feeling of rocks, which are pretty difficult. Rocks have a distinct feeling about them. And I wanted it also to be a warm painting, an approachable kind of rock formation. The sculptural aspect of the way that I paint with a palette knife, and so there's less control over what exactly the painting or the paint is going to do. And working sculpturally, I find that the paint has more of a freedom to work itself out, and then it requires more distance to see what is it doing. There's more of a response. So I think of it really as a collaboration instead of me imposing upon the painting. I really love the medium of oil paint, and I started when I was a little girl, and my mom taught me how to oil paint. She was very artistic, and we had a very artistic family of 5 kids. We had a big round table in our living room that was about 5 feet in diameter, and every day after school we would make these sculptural civilizations out of clay for hours. So I think sculpture is a part of my background. And then in Montana I had limited proximity to painting or technique, so I taught myself from books from the library, and I discovered what it could do, and I've been painting ever since. I hope that people will approach this painting and see it as a sign or a presence of leadership and direction and welcoming, and the feeling that we are not the first to be here. We are part of a history of learning and absorbing and being part of our surroundings and adding on to our surroundings that keeps continually evolving and expanding. As I was studying, I was pretty obsessed with learning the technique and painting in an almost photorealistic way from photographs and from life. And I found that that was really not allowing a freedom for the painting. They were great paintings, but I wasn't trusting in the medium at all, and it felt very one-sided. And what I've always been after with painting is the feeling that it's a partnership, and to try to create something that has a feeling of life. And so I switched into a more sculptural way of painting, and I got rid of all my brushes, and I have gradually moved into this technique, which is more sculptural. And they also got larger and larger, but I still do small paintings, but with that in mind, that I have to step back, and that it's not about making a concrete image. It's about working it until it seems to be stable on its own. Well, people in New York in the art world are very connected to the thought of the moment, or what's happening. What are people thinking about with theory and criticism? And it's always, whether I'm doing my own work, it's still important to know what is outside, what I'm a part of. And that's what this work is about. It's making something that says we are all a part of this same land, this same environment.